Okay, we are still here in Foundation Week. And what I want to talk to you now is about how to maximize your routine, how to rock your routine and make sure that it really is working out in the best possible way for you. Now, as you know, your baby is not a robot, right? With your child's routine, it's never going to be precise, it's never going to be exact, and it shouldn't be because your child is a person. But you will be pleasantly surprised that after just a few days of incorporating consistency, and this is whether you have a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, or even a little bit older, you're going to see that the majority of your child's daytime irritability will have drastically minimized. And I mentioned in the last section of this course, most common reason that babies will cry around sleep time is because they're overtired and they're lacking that predictability. But we're never here to force your child into rhythms or patterns that are unnatural. But on the same token, we do want to make headway with his routine. So instead of just trying to solve your child's sleep issues by putting a band-aid on the problem, let's get to the root of it, right? Let's figure out why your child is fighting sleep and why he's irritable and what's causing this whole battle to begin with. We want to build a foundation from the ground up. We want to tackle this from an educated front, right? We want to work with your child's body instead of battling against it. And how do we do this? By incorporating this predictable routine, as we've discussed in detail already, okay? So the next logical question is how you can establish a routine. Okay, but yeah, I get it. I've got the activity log. I know the right sleep window. Like, how do I do all this? And that's when we start discussing the when and not the how. Okay, there could be a myriad of problems you're having now with your child. You might feel like your baby's sleep is completely erratic. There's no consistency. Or you might feel like you know when your child naps and goes to bed, but once you're finally successful, your child wakes up when you put them down, or the whole merry-go-round begins again. Whatever your personal story is, we're not here to focus yet on how to help your baby sleep until we confidently know when he needs to be sleeping. And I say yet, because trust me, we're going to get to that soon, okay? So whether or not you have a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old here, we're going to discuss on establishing a routine and working of the when of sleep before the how. Now, what does that mean? The when of sleep is the routine, okay? Confidently knowing when your child needs to sleep, when he needs to eat, when he gets tired, when his right sleep window is. And the how of sleep is actually how your child falls asleep. The dependency on being fed, the pacifier, being rocked, being held. So right now in this course now for this section, trust me, we'll get to the next section soon, but we're just going to talk about the when. In the next section, when we move to independent sleeping, we'll start moving to the how, trust me. But I just want you to focus on the when now and understand, because you're working so hard at setting the stage for sleep, you really want to ensure that your child's sleep is intact so we can do our utmost to help him fall into certain patterns, okay? So what should you do? That means make sure sleep happens, okay? When trying to incorporate your routine, do your best to help your baby get to sleep, basically no matter what it takes. If your child needs to be held for sleep, fine. If he needs to be rocked in the stroller to wind down, no problem. Your short-term goal should be that when you know sleep time is arriving and you're reaching your baby's right sleep window, make sure sleep happens, okay? So for example, let's see you know you're slowly reaching your right sleep window at a certain time of day for a nap or for bedtime. A good 15 minutes before that mark, start helping your baby go to sleep in the way that you know is successful, even if it's in a stroller, even if it's in the car, even if it's being held, because we want to set the stage to get your baby's body acclimated to certain rhythms before moving to the how. So the goal is to have your baby asleep at the times you've designated, not starting to wind down 10 minutes after the sleep window, right? We want to make sure we don't reach that point of no return. And even if to do this, you need to use a sleep crutch. Okay, if you have to help your baby by rocking, patting, bouncing, holding, shaking, nursing, bottle, it's fine. Okay, their short-term goal right now, this initial few days, is just to solidly have this when in place. And if you need to help your child to accomplish this with a dependency on something or someone or you, it's completely fine at this stage in the game. So yes, you might think, "Baya, this makes no sense. My child's going to get dependent on these things for now." But at the same time, he's going to learn to sleep at the desired times we're outlining, and then we can move on to independent sleeping with confidence, which is when we're going to delve into teaching them how to sleep better on their own. So regardless of your child's age, start getting him used to the routine now, whatever means necessary to get this in place, okay? So what ideas can you incorporate to rock your routine? Does your child love to be nursed, love to be fed, love to be held, love to be rocked, love to sleep with you? Whatever works, just do it to help get this routine in place, okay? Don't worry about how or where your baby sleeps. Focus on winding him down properly and getting him to the sleep at his ideal times. It is the most critical place for this stage of what you are doing, okay? Now, we're busy. We're mothers, right? We are running fast all the time. We're going here, we're going there, we're feeding that when we're working, we're trying to make dinner, we're putting laundry, trying to help this child. And I get it. Life is busy and you can't always bend over backwards and stop the universe to help your child sleep. But if you can make this your focal point, you're going to have a child that knows how to sleep well during the day. And then in turn, we'll be able to really work with that already when we move to the next place of independent sleeping.